The official documentation for Chime2 contains a moving pictures tutorial. You cannot complete this tutorial on the HPC as is because the HPC is shared and these commands assume that you are on your own computer. This tutorial will show you how to do the moving pictures tutorial on the HPC. This is the Google Doc with the HPC modifications to the moving pictures tutorial. You need to be following this document to get the commands that we're going to use. Scroll down. You'll see in the following screens the prerequisites, and then we're going to do the tutorial on an interactive session on a compute node. We're going to look at the output files, and we are going to submit as a batch job. You need this Google Doc. Where do you get it? You can find this Google document from the page that you're watching this video from if you scroll down, and under the description, click Show More. This is where we're going to put the link to the Google Doc. Let's try it out. Before starting this tutorial, you should be familiar with the basic Linux commands and basic use of the HPC. To use the Chime2 Conda environment, you have to be added to the BioInfo software group. If you are not already in the group, email the help desk and request to be added to the BioInfo software group. Let's log into the HPC and make sure we're in that group. I'm going to log in, type my password, and accept the Duo. I'm going to clear the screen, type groups, and these are my groups, and here I am in the BioInfo group, so that looks good. If at this point you have never used Conda, it's not going to be in your path. So if you type Conda, it's going to say command not found. So you will have to do this module load Conda, and then Conda init tcsh. For these changes to take effect, we need to log out and log in again. So let's exit and log in again. Now if we type Conda, it knows where it is. We're going to go through the Chime2 Moving Pictures tutorial, but we have to make some modifications to run it on the HPC. So open the web page for the Moving Pictures tutorial. We're going to go back and forth between the HPC directions and the Moving Pictures directions. First, change the directory to share. So I'm going to cd share group user. Let me summarize what we're going to do first. We're going to go through the tutorial almost exactly, except there's two things that you cannot do on a compute node. Remember, you cannot download files from a compute node, so we have to do all the file transfers from the login node. We can do the file transfers on the login node, but we need to run on the compute node. So once we get the files, we're going to request an interactive session on the compute node. And then, since we are not going to use a GUI on the HPC, we're going to transfer our files back to the local computer and use Chime to view. So let's try it. Here is the official Moving Pictures tutorial. And we are going to cut and paste everything exactly as is. So let's just copy it and paste. It made the directory and we cd into it. Let's check pwd, and there we are. This is my share, and I am in the Chime2 Moving Pictures tutorial directory. Let's scroll down. All of these options we're going to use wget. So click on the wget, click the icon for copy, and paste it in there. And then type ls to make sure it got the file. There it is. Scroll down. Let's see. Make a directory. You want to, if it says make a directory, you want to make sure you do that because it's usually getting the files and putting them into that directory. So there we make a directory, wget, copy, paste, ls. Okay, I'm going to clear the screen. Here's another wget, copy, paste. Okay, so here are our files. Let's look at EMP. There you go. You made that directory, and wget put more files in that directory. Let's scroll down and make sure we don't have to download any more files. And now this is the first Chime command. So now let's go back to the instructions. We need to set up the environment for running Chime. Click on the Chime tutorial. We did all of the wget. We need to request an interactive session before we do anything. Remember, you cannot run on a login node. But you can just copy and paste this directly for this example. This will give us an interactive session on a compute node. We're requesting 30 minutes and 1 core. So I'm going to paste that in. Right now I'm waiting for it to put me on a compute node, and now I'm on a compute node. Let me clear the screen. Okay, do not start typing Chime commands until you make sure you are not on a login node. So to do that, do echo hostname. And there we go, we are on this compute node. You can also see in the prompt, there is that. It says N3-4 instead of login, and you'll have a different node. Check that you're in the same directory. When you go onto an interactive session, you should be in the same directory, but let's just check pwd, and we are in the Chime2 Moving Pictures tutorial. Now we need to set the environment. Right now, if we type Chime, it does not recognize Chime. For that, we have to activate the Conda environment. So take this, you can copy and paste it directly. Okay, so now let's type which Chime. I don't want to actually type Chime because it'll think I am running something. Okay, so now it knows where it is. It recognizes it. Now we can go back, cut and paste the rest of the tutorial as is. Okay, and we already did the wget. That was an exception. The other exception is you cannot use Chime to view. That's because those commands open a GUI. So let's go back to the Moving Pictures tutorial and just do the copy icon and paste it. So here we go, our command ran. Type ls to see if it put anything. Remember from before, we just had this input file, so it created this QZA. Let's scroll down to the next Chime command. Oh, here, this is very useful. When you run this command, it tells you what output you should get. So you type ls, and you should see this QZA file, and it's right here. So that way you know that it works. And later on, if you want to download that and make sure it's equivalent to what you produced, you can do that. So let's scroll down some more. Let's click on the copy and paste. So it finished running, and we're supposed to get these 2 files. Let's make sure we did. And here they are. Let's scroll down and see what else. Here is another command, copy, paste. It looks like it worked. Let's see, ls minus lrt. Remember, that's long form reverse time order. And here is the new file. Let me clear and scroll down. Here's the Chime Tools view. You can't use that. That will pop up a GUI. We are going to do this option 1, and we'll scroll down, copy and paste. Pause the video, maybe go get a coffee, and let's wait for this to finish. It finished. It's expecting 3 files. Let's do ls minus lrt. And here are the files. Looks like it worked. Scroll down again. Now we're gonna metadata tabulate, copy and paste. I'm gonna clear an ls minus lrt. Here is the new file. You should continue with the rest of the tutorial in the same manner that we've been doing. If you get timed out of the interactive session, then you can start another one. To exit the interactive session, type exit. We just completed the Chime2 Moving Pictures tutorial from a compute node. Let's move the files. The outputs are here. If the output ends in a QZV, that's a visualization file. So to do the visualization, we are going to put those files on our local machine so we can open a GUI. Go to the instructions and scroll down to this part, tar files, copy to local computer and visualize. While we are on Henry2, we're going to make a directory, make dir my underscore output. Okay, now we're going to move all of the visualization files, all the QZV files to that directory. Let's make sure they're in there. They're in here, and they're not in there anymore. You should tar files before moving them, so let's do tar minus cvf my output dot tar is what we're going to call the final product, and what we're going to tar is my output. So we just made a tarball with my output. I'm going to open another terminal. This is my local machine. I want to scp the files. So that's my unity at login.hpc.ncsu.edu :/share / my group is support. So you're going to put whatever your group is, your Unity ID. And then I'm going to copy and paste because this is so long. Just copy and paste the rest of it. Copy and paste. So this is moving the tarred files into the current directory. Here's the file. So now, and you can just copy and paste it. You're going to untar the files and paste. Now that will make a directory my underscore output. So let's cd into my underscore output. And there are my files. So let's open Chime to view. If you open a Finder or a window, you can drag and drop, but I'm just going to click and tell it where to go. So mine was in the main directory, the My Output folder, and let's just pick one of these and open it. And here we go. That's it. We've just run Chime2 on the HPC, and we've visualized the results on our home computer. Now we're ready to learn how to run a job in batch mode with LSF. An interactive session on a compute node is for testing and development. You should be running your HPC workflows using an LSF batch script. So let's make one now. First, make sure you are in the directory that you created during the first part of the tutorial. Here I am. If you look at the output, we want to get rid of everything that was created during the tutorial. I want to keep the input files so I don't have to download them again, but I want to remove the output so I can see if my new run worked. rm-r my output star will get rid of the directory and the tar file. rm-r star.qza, that will get rid of all the QZA files. Now we are left with just the input files. Create a text file. Use Nano to create a text file. Create a text file called submit_chime2_tutorial.csh. I'm just going to paste that. So now I have an empty file. Copy and paste this example batch script. So I have a link to this, and this links directly to the batch script, but let me show you how to find it on the website. Go to the main website, click Documentation, Running Jobs, scroll down, and it says jump to the basic LSF instructions. That's it. So I am just going to copy and paste it. Copy and paste. Let's go back and make sure we don't want to change anything. 1 core is okay since it's a simple test. I don't think we need 2 hours. We'll give it 30 minutes. Instead of calling the job my code, I'm going to call it Chime2 tutorial. Don't put a space, put an underscore if you want 2 words. I'm going to leave the output in the error files called that. And I'm not running mycode.exe, so I'm going to get rid of that. We want to put the chime commands in the LSF file. But before we run chime commands, what did we have to do? Let's go back to the instructions. We have to activate the Conda environment first. So let's copy that. Conda activate will make sure all the chime commands work. Now what we're going to do is cut and paste the chime commands. So let's go back to the Moving Pictures tutorial. Let's scroll down to the first chime command. This is the first chime command. I'm going to copy it and paste it. To run this tutorial, all you're going to do is cut and paste all of the chime commands into this document. Okay, I have finished cutting and pasting into my submit script. I'm going to open the script, nano submit. I'm going to hit the tab. And here I have, you know what? I'm going to use this opportunity to show you why you should use VI. I'm going to exit. And if I do VI submit, it colors it for me. So maybe you can do that with Nano. I don't know. But here's a good reason to learn VI. So I'm going to go ahead and use VI. Here are my cut and pasted. Here are the commands that I use cut and paste for. You can run this right away, but I'm going to make a couple of suggestions. You can add comments. So a comment line in a batch script is a pound, and you could say starting tools import. This might help you later. The other thing you can do when you're writing a script that's one command after the other, if it doesn't have a lot of output, you won't know if it's working, so you can use the echo command. So if you do echo, and you can write whatever you want. So I'll do hello, I have finished tools import. Import. While my job is running, this will be written to the log file. And I can do this again. Let me put in one more. Echo, I am about to demux. Okay, you can write whatever you want. I just want to show you. I have only cut and paste the commands that I went over in the interactive session. You could do as much as you want. I'm going to save it. To submit the job, let me go back to the instructions. To run the batch job, you use bsub. So bsub less than submit chime2 tutorial.csh, and you hit enter. After you submit a job, type bjobs to see if it's running. Right now it's in the pending state. If you hit the up arrow to type it again, now it's running. Do ls minus lrt. That shows you that it has opened an output file and it has opened an error file, but that hasn't written anything to it yet. I can use ls minus lrt to look at the job. And here already you see that it has created an output file. Let me look at the standard out. So Chime2 writes output to the screen, and here is my output to the screen from the echo command. During the run, if you want to check on it to see if it's still running, you can do ls minus lrt and see what the latest files that were output. And you could always, again, look at this file. This has the output from Chime, and it has the output that I added with the echo command. You can also use bjobs to make sure your job is still running. Let's see if my job is finished yet. Bjobs, and it says no unfinished job found. Type ls minus lrt. It looks like my job generated a lot of output. This is the error file and it's empty. That doesn't mean that there were no errors, but it's a good sign. This is the output file, so let's look at it. Type less and then the file. The stuff at the beginning is all the output from your code. So there is the output from Chime2, and there's the output that I put in. If you scroll down, you see the LSF output. This shows information about the job. It shows that it was run on this node, in this queue, and this was the user, and these were the directories. Scroll down all the way. Look at the resource usage summary. Every time you do a small test, you want to look at the usage summary and look at the memory utilization. If the memory utilization of your code is high, you are going to have to request exclusive use of the node. So always do a test and check the memory. This only used about 1 gigabyte of memory, so we did not have to use exclusive. Let's look at the output one more time. If we look for just the QZV files, we have 2, just like before. Looks like it worked.